Welcome to Pokemon from Scratch, a sealed-only challenge where with a budget of $30 a week, we will attempt to build a competitive deck using only the cards we obtain from buying sealed products. And the rules are simple, no trading and no buying singles allowed. Our goal is to ultimately qualify for the Pokemon World Championships using only these cards. Make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with this challenging competitive journey. Now let's get started. So right now, all we have is the Pikarom starter deck, and while that's a great place to start, the deck is overall very slow with a multitude of bricks, which is preventing us from consistently setting up our Pikarom fast enough. So as of now, our main priority is to increase the consistency of our deck by maxing out our search engine while increasing our deck's draw power, and there's no better way to do this than to open the Trainer's Toolkit, which contains a multitude of staple cards that we'll need. And here we have it, the Pokemon Trainer Toolkit, a great product to boost any competitive deck costing us $30 on an entirely weekly budget. We were at negative $5 from last week, but after adding our weekly funds, this product will once again leave us at negative $5. But I promise, this is the last week we will be in the negatives. Looking into our box, we have some nice looking sleeves, our cards, our code cards, a brick of energies, more dices, another pamphlet that nobody reads, 2 status counters, more junk, and finally our 4 packs. So starting off, let's look into our guaranteed staple cards. And once again, why are these never organized? Abracadabra, so after using some sorting magic, let's get started. 2 copies of the Dedenne GX, the main reason why we brought the toolkit, 2 more copies of each of our draw supporters, 2 Boss's Order, which is a very important guessing card, 2 Elders, 2 Greens, 2 Malalanas, 2 Quick Balls, 2 Pecoms, 2 P-Gears, 2 Stamps, 2 Incense, 2 Spinners, 2 Fire Crystals, 2 Tool Scrapers, 2 Switches, 2 Saucers, 2 Rare Candies, 2 Rods, 2 Vitality Bands, 2 Balloons, 2 Furnaces, 2 Turf Fields, 2 Speed Lightning Energies, 2 Twin Energies, and 2 Aurora Energies. To finish it off. Of these cards, we're going to need the 2 Speed Energies, the 1 Tool Scraper, 2 Quick Balls, 2 Marnies, and 2 Dedennes to add to our deck. So before we add them, let's see what else we can pull from our 4 packs to add to our deck. Starting off with Unbroken Bonds, we can see that we have a Skinny Boy, a Ghastly, a Piranha, Togepi, an Esper, a Reverse Hollow Greens, a Salazzle as our rare, and nice, we get a Triple Acceleration Energy, a very useful card in the VMAX era since all the VMAXs are considered evolutions. Next we have Sword and Shield, and we have a Bleep Bloop Bug, a Goldeen, a Yamper, a Scorpion, some bad cards, and an Ordinary Ron, our 3rd copy, and B-Day, which may or may not be useful. Next, onto our Rebels Clash. We have the OG Caterpie, 2 Fishes, Snuffle, Lotad, a Reverse Hollow Natu, and oh nice, we got a Cinderace VMAX. Unfortunately for us, this card is useless, but it's a very nice looking card to have in the binder, I guess, or until we need it. And then we have a much more useful card, Capture Energy, which would be nice to have. And here's a code card for you guys. Sorry, I'm gonna need the more recent ones to get the cards on TCGO, but once we go back to playing in real life, you guys can have all the code cards you want. Now on to the last pack, we have Holes to start off the pack. Not a lucky sign for us. And our rare is the Pikachu Eater himself. And nice, we get a Phalanx and a Twin Energy, the 2 more useful cards in the pack. Unfortunately, we didn't pull any cards we can add to the deck from our packs, but that's okay. So to make room for our new cards, we will be definitely taking out our Ambipom and Electros since we rarely ever use them. Ericas are going to be replaced for Marnies for more disruption. We're taking out all the Pecoms in the deck since we're running such a low count of Pokemon. Instead, we'll add 2 more Quick Balls in their place, then taking out our Ordinary Rods, Rotom Bike, and a single Energy. We'll add in 2 Dedenne GXs, 2 Boss's Orders, and 2 Speed Lightning Energies. So here's a quick look at our final list. We should be much more consistent and faster than last week. So let's get into some games. So game 1, we're going against a fully built Pikarom deck, opposed to the Jank one we're running. Our hand looks pretty good, having both Pikarom, Tapu Koko, and Dedenne in it, but after using the Dedenne change, things are looking a lot worse since we didn't draw a single lightning energy. Our Stellar Wish didn't really get us into anything useful at all either, so we'll whiff the search in case we're going to Professor's Research next turn. On our opponent's turn, we see him play Guzma Hala, but it seems he prized the Thunder Mountain, so he won't be getting the turn 1 full blitz on us. Back to us, we Marnie here because I didn't want to discard our Dedenne, and we find 1 energy in our new hand and a way to get back into our Dedenne GX. We really need to hit 2 more energies and an energy switch, but we find none of them after our second Dedenne. This is a very unfortunate game 1 for us, so we pop Tapu Koko preemptively so he can't boss's order it up and knock it out. And then we hit the fat pass. Our opponent proceeds to full blitz us, and with him having 6 energies on the field opposed to our 1, our chances of winning is now very slim because Raichu can one-shot our Pikarom. Fast forward, as expected, he beats us down and we lose game 1. Game 2, we're against Item Lock Vikavolt. Our opponent doesn't really do much and misses their energy attachment for a turn. Their hand must be pretty good though because they purposely chose not to Dedenne GX since they had the option to with the second Quick Ball. Going into our turn, we did start Dedenne GX but we had the nuts in our hand. We proceed to set up our board with Tapu Koko and 2 of our tag teams. I chose to get 2 Pikaroms because I knew Vikavolt played Energy Denial and Pikarom is our answer to that with constantly full blitzing. Then we got an energy and discard, attach our speed energy, and we get to the Dedenne GX and we still haven't even played a supporter. Our new hand isn't all that great though, so we're essentially just going Professor's Research straight away to find our energy switch, a way to get 1 more energy in this card, and a switch. And crazy enough, we drew into all of that. This means that we can get off the turn 1 full blitz. I chose to attach everything to our Pikarom because then we can just tag bolt, knock out his active as well as something on the bench. In addition, it also helps us against any Crushing Hammer plays. Speaking of which, our opponent proceeds to play 3 Crushing Hammers and hits 2 of them, so back down to 4 energies we go. However, our opponent then plays Thunder Mountain. Huge mistake because now I have the option to tag bolt as long as I find an energy. Also, they play down 4 Electro Powers. Wow. So top decking Professor's Research, we get into an energy and boom, 4 prizes. So as our opponent does his turn, I realized I made a huge mistake by discarding our Zapdos, because if our opponent knocks out our Pikarom, I won't have any attackers ready. If I had Zapdos on my bench, all I needed to find was a boss's order to win, so that was my mistake. Here we get stamped to 1 and our Pikarom gets knocked out, so it's not looking so hot. Stellar Wish gets us into a Professor's Research, so that's nice. Looking into our new hand, it's not that bad. Having energies are nice, and here we burn all our items in case we get item locked again by Vikavolt. Unfortunately, we get stamped to 1 again, so we gotta pray. Also, our opponent's hand size is huge right now. Luckily for us, Jirachi finds us a Marnie, and our new hand is great because not only did we find energy, we found a reset stamp. That means in order for our opponent to win, they need to find a way to bring up the Dedenne GX and an energy in hand from 3 cards. And looks like they couldn't do it, so we win game 2. Game 3, we're going second against ADP Zacian. Our opponent hits a nuts off their Zacian and becomes fully charged up in 1 turn. Going to our turn, we nicely found both of our tag teams, Tapu Koko and Dedenne. This matchup isn't bad as long as we can full blitz on turn 1. So all we need now is a way to get 2 energies in this card and an energy switch and a switch. Very unfortunately for us, we hit the energies, but no way to discard them, no switch, and no draw supporters. Stellar Wish then shows us all the cards we need on the top of our deck, but we can only unfortunately grab 1. I choose to get the E-Radar because I want to use Tapu Koko Prism as soon as possible, just in case he gusses it up with boss's orders and knocks it out. And because of us whiffing turn 1 full blitz, we're now in the back foot. Our opponent draws until he hits the water energy and then alters creation as expected. Going back to us, I'm Marnie here since I can lower his hand size and still have a way to search back our Dedenne if I needed to. Our new hand isn't great because it's missing switch, but our Stellar Wish gets us into it. Unfortunately, I have no choice but to full blitz here since there's nothing else I can do. We then proceed to get one-shot by Zacian V. I cry every time. We're basically almost checkmated here because we can one-shot the Zacian with Lightning Ride GX, but if we do, we're forced to switch, and every Pokemon on my bench will be knocked out by ADP, so I tend them shocked here, hoping for the 2-shot and him not finding a switch. He retreats the Zacian and smartly moves all the energy to a new Zacian and passes, so I'm back to square one. On our turn, our Dedenne finds us a reset stamp, so there's still a chance to win though if I can find our boss's order, which I do from P-Gear. Bringing up the charged up Zacian V, I knocked it out with Lightning Ride GX and pray he doesn't get the energy. But he does, so we lose game 3. So closing dots, we went 1-2 today, bringing our total record to 3-3. Our deck is much faster than before, and we can usually set up turn 2 full blitz, and on unlucky occasions, a turn 1 full blitz. The Dedenne GX is doing wonders for us, and it was a much needed addition. Darkness Ablaze just released, so it's going to become a huge issue for us, because it introduces more Pokemon in the format that can one-shot us. There's more ways we can increase the consistency of our deck, but we might divert a bit and maybe focus on survivability with the likes of Big Charm. So stay tuned for next week to see what we pull. Subscribe so you don't miss out. See you then.